Listen up. Dealers lie for money, Instagram lies for clicks, and the truth, it's out back, behind the counter, in the cold boxes that empty first. These 10 handguns don't sit pretty on pegs, they walk out the door. People buy them because they work and not because some influencer told them to. You'll see carry guns that sold out before folks got home, duty pieces that filled contracts overnight, and a couple of oddballs that got hoarded because they flat out earned it. This isn't a wish list, it's what's moving in 2025. If a dealer can't keep one on the shelf, you ignore that at your own risk. This is your boy Steve. You want the guns people actually buy when it matters? Then let's go take the inventory for ourselves. You think polymer's all the same? That's lazy thinking. The CZP-10C proves the difference between a copy and a design. Hold it once, and your hand stops arguing with the gun. The grip's honest. The balance feels like a choice, not an accident. This is the kind of pistol that makes range rookies shoot better, and old hands admit they were wrong. Dealers don't keep these on shelves because of hype. They move because people who buy gear for a living see fewer returns and more satisfied customers. Run the basic checks and you'll see why. Clean feeding, a reliable extractor, and a trigger that arrives without drama. It's not a show pony, it's a workhorse that's been tuned for feel and function. That's why shops reorder them quickly. People try one and they keep coming back for more, sometimes in different sizes or with different sights. There's chatter, a few early fit variances and picky holster fits, but nothing that matters to the man who carries it or trusts it in a fight. If you're shopping, check magazines and rock solid fit in your hand before you buy. That hand feel is the deciding factor. Who buys cheap and keeps it? People who need it to work. A man came in last week, held the Max 9, shrugged at the price, and walked out calmer than when he came in. He didn't need a lecture. He needed something that fits a pocket and behaves. That's the market this pistol owns. Do this right where you buy it. Quick, plain. Insert and remove the factory magazine 3 times to ensure it seats cleanly. Rack the slide slow, then fast to feel for any grinding or rough spots. And with the chamber empty, dry fire once to confirm the trigger break and reset. Those 3 moves tell you more than 1,000 words. Feed it decent ammunition and it feeds clean. Give it trash magazines or limp-wristed reloads and you'll see the hiccups people talk about. Usually a seating or a feed issue, not a design failure. Put the right mags in and the Max 9 behaves like something twice its price. Not glamorous, not perfect, practical. And in 2025, practicality is what empties pegs. Dealers hate that because it sells before they can restock. Next one hides on the body, but hits harder than you'd expect. They keep coming back for this one, and dealers keep reordering it. That tells you what you need to know. The Shield X isn't flashy, but it fills a need nobody else did as cleanly. Small enough to carry, simple enough to trust, and priced so people actually buy it off the counter. Here's the practical truth. You don't need a lab test to judge it. You want a pistol that behaves when life gets messy, and the Shield X does that for a lot of people. It's light, easy to conceal, and has a trigger and reset that don't surprise you when it matters. That's why shops can't keep them on shelves. They solve the everyday carry problem for more buyers than most guns. If you're at a dealer, do these 3 quick checks before paying. Insert and remove a magazine 3 times to ensure it seats smoothly. Rack the slide several times to feel for any stickiness. With the chamber empty, dry fire once to check the trigger break and reset. If those feel right, it's a solid buy. People buy the Shield X because it answers a simple question. Will this behave when I need it to? In 2025, that question is why this pistol sells out fast. The next pistol that's coming up is tiny but pulls a lot of weight. People don't let it sit long on the shelf. We can't keep these on the shelf, the clerk says, half annoyed, half resigned. And that's the whole story with the Taurus GX4. It moves because it answers a blunt, practical need. Something that disappears on your body, costs little, and behaves well enough day to day. It isn't gorgeous, it isn't premium, it's honest. In real use, you notice what matters first. Magazines that seat cleanly, a slide that runs without catch, and whether the pistol draws from a holster without snagging. And for most buyers, the GX4 takes all those boxes. Problems people talk about usually trace back to junk aftermarket mags or bad holster choice, but not the basic design. That reliability for the price combo makes people buy one, keep it, and then tell a friend. Dealers reorder because the product simply sells. A practical pocket pistol that does its job. And in 2025, that's exactly why dealers can keep the GX4 on their shelves. Next one may look small, but surprises the hand. Walk into any shop this month and ask for a Glock 48. The clerk won't even check the shelf. He'll just smile that tired smile that means you're too late again. This pistol doesn't wait around. It comes in, moves fast, and vanishes before most people even hear it's restocked. The reason is simple. The 48 hits the middle ground nobody else got right. Slim enough to carry every day, long enough to shoot comfortably, and stamped with that name people trust even when they shouldn't. Buyers see Glock, feel the balance, and the rest is automatic. They don't test it, they just take it. Dealers know the pattern. Call the distributor on Monday, stock arrives Friday, gone by Saturday noon. Not because of hype, but because the 48 solved a real problem. A carry gun that feels like a duty pistol without the weight. It's a worker's gun built for people who want something steady, not fancy. Every month, the same question circles around. Got any 48s? And every time the answer is the same. Not anymore. That's what happens when a pistol earns its place on the empty shelf. Next one isn't just sell, it steals the spotlight the second it hits the counter. Some folks call 3 stores in a single day just to find one. That's the Hellcat effect for you. Not hype, hunger. People want something that hides easy, shoots straight, and feels like more gun than it should be. The moment a shipment lands, phones start ringing. Half of those buyers don't even ask the price. They just ask, is it still there? The Hellcat earned that reputation the hard way. It's compact but steady, carries like a dream, and gives you the kind of side picture that makes bigger guns jealous. The Pro version only made things worse for the dealers. Longer grip, smoother control, still small enough to vanish under a jacket. For most buyers, that's the sweet spot. You hear stories of folks driving across countries just to get one in hand, walking out before the box cools from the truck. That's not marketing, that's proof. The Hellcat isn't sitting around gathering dust, it's the gun people chase because it gives them what they wanted the first time. Confidence without compromise. Take it apart and the APX tells you it's business fast. Pins where you want them, a frame that isn't precious, and parts you can swap without cursing. A gunsmith's job is simple. Keep stock that comes back clean and fix what breaks fast. Dealers order the APX because it behaves at the bench, not because it wins beauty contests, but because armorers can service it in 20 minutes and get it back on the shelf. That matters in real numbers. A gun that spends days with a customer in repair costs a store more than its sticker price. The APX usually doesn't. The striker system is straightforward, the rails wear predictably, and replacement parts aren't a scavenger hunt. That means fewer returns, faster turnarounds, and less time sitting on a repair bench collecting dust. Shops notice that and they keep ordering. Buyers get the practical benefit. A pistol that's simple to keep healthy, so it spends more time being carried and less time being fixed. You won't call it glamorous, but you will call it reliable in the ways that count. That's why dealers don't just stock the APX, they trust it enough to keep the shelf empty week after week. Next one exploded in popularity for a different reason, and it's worth watching. Some guns come and go like cheap whiskey. This one stays heavy, honest, like an old friend that's seen things. The Ruger GP100 doesn't care about new trends or polymer chatter. It just keeps doing the same damn job it's been doing for decades, throwing lead straight and keeping its owner safe. Dealers know it, shooters trust it, and every time a batch lands, somebody's already waiting with cash in their hand. Steel frame, thick cylinder, timing so tight you could count on it in the dark. It's not light, not sleek, and it sure as hell ain't fragile. That's the kind of pistol the old ranch hands carried when they didn't have backup. The kind a man cleans by lamplight and passes down because it never once quit on him. In a world chasing tiny guns and plastic promises, the GP100 stands there like a stubborn mule, steady, scarred, and proud of it. Folks still buy it for the same reasons their fathers did. It never lies, never cheats, and never fails. That's why dealers can't keep it on their shelves. You don't just buy a GP100, you inherit a legend. Next one brought modern swagger to the fight, and folks lined up fast. Take it to the bench, and the PDP Compact explains itself in parts. The chassis is stiff where it counts, the slide-to-frame fit is deliberate, and the trigger geometry isn't a gimmick. It's built around a clean short wall and a reset that comes back without fuss. Those aren't marketing words, they're measurable bits of design that make service calls rare and confidence common. On a teardown, you'll see accessible rails, straightforward sear engagement, and an optics footprint that keeps zero under real use. Parts are available. Armorers understand the platform, and the common failure modes are simple to diagnose. Worn magazines or poor support springs, not mysterious timing faults. That shop-level reliability is why stores reorder. Less bench time, fewer warranty headaches, more guns sold and carried. Performance on the line matches the bench report. Ergonomics place the pad where it needs to be. Follow-ups come faster because the reset is predictable, and the slide mask control balance reduces snatch without killing recoil impulse. Competitive types will argue over tiny timing tweaks. The practical result for most buyers is consistent hits and fewer surprises. This pistol doesn't beg for attention, it gives armorers confidence and buyers predictable performance, and that chain, bench trust to shelf turnover, is exactly why dealers can't keep the PDP Compact in stock. There's a reason this one never sits long behind the glass. The P226 has earned its place the slow way. Years of service, years of fight, and not much left to prove. Dealers don't push it, they just unbox it, wipe it once, and it's gone by the end of the week. No tricks in the frame, no bragging on the barrel. All steel, good weight, steady hands. The trigger breaks the same way every time, and that's what men trust when noise and pressure show up. You can dress up a dozen new models, but when a customer asks for something that's already done the job, the P226 is what leaves the counter. It's not light, not cheap, and not new, but it's the one that keeps showing up when others fail, and that truth travels faster than any ad ever could. Dealers keep restocking because there's always another man coming in saying, I want the one that works. That's why the P226 never stays on a shelf for long. And the next one, same attitude, but built for the modern fight. You would think that'd be the end of it, right? 10 handguns that vanish faster than shelves can hold, but the truth is, there's always one more worth a mention. A piece that doesn't just sell, it redefines what people expect when they pay good money for a sidearm. The Staccato HDP4 isn't cheap, and it certainly isn't shy about it either. This one walks into the room like it knows who it is. Full size, tuned, and built for shooters who live behind the trigger. Every part feels tight. Every pull feels like it's talking straight back at your hand. It's the kind of gun that ruins you for anything less. Dealers get 2 or 3 at a time, and they never make it past the first weekend. The price doesn't scare folks. It just filters out the ones who don't understand. The ones who do, they know exactly what they're buying. There's no bargain here, just a standard. The HDP4 isn't a crowd pleaser, it's a benchmark. That's why even as the shelves keep clearing, the waitlists keep growing. You don't buy a Delta Elite to look good, you buy it because you're sick of soft recoil and small talk. The 10mm in this thing hits hard enough to make you rethink your grip, and folks who know that kind of power doesn't waste time arguing online. They just find one, pay cash, and leave smiling. Dealers keep ordering more, but it's never enough. Every shipment spoken for before the boxes even hit the counter. The old timers remember the first Delta Elite. The young ones finally get why it mattered. Steel frame, clean lines, trigger that breaks like dry wood. It's not polite, it's purposeful. This pistol doesn't care about fashion or polymer trends. It's the working man's hand cannon. Honest steel that answers to nobody. Shooters who run it once never forget the sound or the shove. That's the kind of truth you can't dress up, and that's exactly why the shelves stay bare. The Delta Elite doesn't wait around to be chosen, it's already claimed by the time it arrives. If you've watched this far, wait till the last one, the revolver that ends every argument. Hear that cylinder snap? That sounds a promise. Simple, loud, and honest. The 686 sells because some things don't need belts to prove they work. You hand it to a man who remembered gloss and gimmicks, and he nods. You hand it to a man who wants something that'll take abuse and keep swinging, and he pays without thinking. That's why dealers find these gone faster than they expect. This is a revolver that lives in 2 worlds. Practical carry for guys who don't want a headache, and steady comfort for collectors who respect a tool that holds up. Steel frame, thick barrel, timing that's not trying to show off, just reliable function. Ammunition options make it useful in ways a semi can't always match, and that versatility converts window shoppers into buyers before the clerk can finish the register tape. People buy the 686 for reasons that matter in real life. It's simple to maintain, it tolerates abuse, and it gives feedback you can trust when the lights go out. Dealers reorder because returns are rare and recommendations travel fast. One satisfied owner brings 2 more. Not flashy, not trendy. It's a workhorse with a pedigree, and that's the kind of thing that clears shelves when someone realizes they don't want a gimmick, they want a gun that keeps its word. Empty shelves tell stories. They tell you which guns earn trust and which ones were a passing fad. If you want one of these, move quick. And if you snagged a model I didn't mention, say which one and where you saw it gone. We'll dig into why dealers keep ordering them. This is your boy Steve. Don't chase noise now. Buy the thing that shows up when you need it.